So, thinking of trying something a bit different, a bit new. Filming myself has never been something I've been massively comfortable with, but I've recently embarked on a journey to get fitter again and run more and live healthier. So I figured I should probably document it. Where the story started back in 2021, I ran a marathon for the first time. Didn't do very much training for it, didn't take it as seriously as I should have. But nevertheless, I came in with a time of 3:27:49, so I was very, very happy with that. My ultimate goal was only to do it in 4:20, just because one of my friends had done one and that was the time he'd done it in. So I just really wanted to, compete with him. So I was obviously extremely happy with the time that I ended up coming in with. But ever since then, really, I've not done a lot. So I did one half marathon run in 2022, but probably only did about 21 miles that year overall. So, when 13 of it was one day, it's probably not the best way to continue. Again, I was actually quite happy with my time. I think it was like 1:48 or something like that. The year after, I did another one because I moved to Nottingham that year. So I figured I'd do the Robin Hood half. Again, 1:48-ish time, but again, I hadn't done a lot of training that year. I did some more because one of my friends had moved to Derby too, so it kind of aligned. So we did a bit of training, but only really like once every other week on a Sunday, and probably only like 4 or so miles. But at least I was a bit more prepared. And then for 2024, I kind of did nothing at all up until October. And then October is when I started training properly again. And, it started to click. But the what hit home was one of my friends is an excellent runner. And I decided to do park run with him. And I did them infrequently, but, every now and again with him as well. So we'd done one in Amsterdam. Beforehand, we'd done a couple in Cambridge. So, I'd done a couple with him and he'd always beaten me, but he wasn't like insanely ahead. And then in October, it hit home because he was getting better at running and I was realizing how much worse I was getting. So on that 5K, I did it in something like 23:30 or something like that. I'll put it on the screen so you can see it. But it was, I know it's not a horrific time, but considering my best before that had been 17:54, it was a drastic decline. So I figured I'd start taking it seriously again and just see how much I could push myself. And over the course of the next few weeks, I started to get better and better. By December, I'd got a sub 20. I think I might have even got close to a sub 19. I think I got a 19:01 or something like that, 27th of December. And in February, we went to Galway. We did a park run there, and that was when I got my first 5K back under 19 again. So it was 18:46, and recently I got an 18:44. So the progress has been immense for only 6 months. My main goal for 2025 was to get a sub 1:30 half marathon. So that's not something I'd ever done before. So I figured that would be my ultimate goal. And recently I did that. I got a 1:29, 12 seconds, something like that. Again, I'll put it on the screen. But in October, when I did a base test just to see what I could do, I pushed myself to my limit on that day as well. And I think he gave it a 2:06. So I was a long way off. I then did one in November with my friend who I talked about before. He pushed me as hard as I could possibly go, and I shaved off 15-16 minutes or something. It was 1:50 something. And then again in the December, Christmas Day, actually, I went out for a run to try and push myself. I think that's when I realized the sub 1:30 was realistic. Got it like 1:35. And then January, February, edged closer. March the 3rd, I got a 1:30 and then a few seconds. So I knew I could do it. So one of the last days of March, so a couple of days ago now, I pushed myself and I got it. I got a 1:29. So things are going in the right direction. Hopefully I'll get better and better at this recording stuff. But I just figured I should probably start documenting it just in case me being the average Joe that I am can inspire other people to push themselves a bit further and not give up, and know that it doesn't take that long to drastically transform your running ability. Yeah, that's about it, I guess. I suppose you'll guess, because I don't do this very often, I haven't invested in a good camera. So I'm just using my standard little iPhone. I don't have a mic or anything like that, but obviously if this takes off and does all right, I might start to invest in a bit of things like that. But until then, I need to get used to looking at the camera for one, and used to filming myself as if it's just a normal conversation and not the world's most daunting thing on earth.